Hi everybody, in this video I'm going to show you how to make this cute little cupcake with a little cherry on top and some icing. This little guy measures about 1.5 inches by 2 inches. As you can see, fits into the palm of my hand, so it's like a little mini cupcake. And what you're going to need first for the cupcake base, for the pot as it were, we need to take some light brown coloured yarn. This is actually a chunky, so that's just a bulky weight yarn. And for the other parts we're going to need a little bit of light pink for the bun, but you can use any colours to be honest with you. So but I've chosen like a light pink. This is a DK light worsted weight yarn. In fact, all these yarns here at the top are going to be DK light worsted weight. It's only the base that's the chunky bulky weight. So for the bun I've used a light pink DK yarn, and for the icing we're going to be using just a white DK light worsted weight yarn, and for the little cherry on top of course just use a bit of red. So it actually seems quite bright red on here, but it's a little bit darker in real life, and that again is a DK light worsted weight yarn. And you're also going to need a yarn needle and some scissors. And you're also going to need a 3mm crochet hook, but obviously you can use any yarn size or any crochet hook that's suitable for the yarn you're using for your cupcake. Just make sure that the yarn you use for the base of your cupcake is slightly thicker than the other yarns. And we're also going to need some toy stuffing as well, so we just need just a small amount of toy stuffing as well, but of course you can use scrap pieces of yarn as well to stuff your little cake as well. So okay, so let's begin. Okay, so first of all we're going to take our light brown chunky bulky weight yarn to work on the bottom, on the base, and our 3mm crochet hook, and we're going to work 8 single crochet into a magic circle. And like always I'll put a link in the description below to my video that shows how to do the magic circle in more detail, in case you're not familiar with how to do that. So I do our little dummy stitch, like so, and we're going to work 8 single crochet into a magic circle. So that's 1, 2, and number 8. And last single crochet. Okay, and then just pull the tail end tight to close the hole, and then we're going to slip stitch into our first stitch to join around. So let's just do that. Okay. Like so. Okay, so by the end of that round you should have 8 single crochet. And now we're going to work 2 single crochet into each stitch around. So we're not going to chain 1 or anything like that, we're just going to go straight into the next stitch and work 2 single crochet. So that's 1 and 2. And then just repeat that round, so that's 2 in the next stitch. And then 2 in the next stitch, and then by the end of this round you should have 16 stitches. Okay, so just coming up to the last 2, 15 and 16. So we'll just check that, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Okay, so for the next round we are actually going to chain 1. So we just chain 1, and we're going to count that as a stitch. And we're going to work 1 single crochet into each stitch around, but we're going to be working in the back loops only. So if I come close to the camera, rather than going in through the stitch, the whole stitch like so, we're just going to skip that first loop and just go through the middle, then out the back. I have actually done a video on crocheting in the front loops and back loops only, so I'll put a link to that as well. So we're just going to work 1 single crochet in each back loop stitch around. So by the end of that round we should still have 16. Okay, so by the end of that round all we want to do then is slip stitch into our chain 1 to join the round. So what we do is just making sure we've got just the 2 loops of yarn above our hook and nothing else. Like so. So you're actually going through the stitch. As you can see under there, you've got a loop of yarn underneath the hook as well, so you're not just going in into a gap, you are actually coming through something, like so. And just slip stitch, and you should still have 16 stitches by the end of that round. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Okay, and what we're going to do now is we're going to chain 1 again, like so, and we're going to work 2 single crochet in our next stitch. So we just go straight into the next stitch and work 2 single crochet. That's 1 and 2, and like so. And then we're going to work 1 single crochet by itself in the next stitch. And then we're going to go back to 2 single crochet for our increase in the next stitch. So it's 1 and 2. And then 1 single crochet by itself in the next stitch. So you're basically just doing 2 single crochet in the next stitch and then 1 single crochet in the next stitch. So just carry on repeating that round, until you get to the end, and then slip stitch into your chain 1, and you should have 24 stitches. So straight into the next stitch for 2 single crochet. And 1 single crochet. Okay, just going up to the last stitch. We should finish on 2 single crochet, finish on an increase, and then like the previous round we're just going to slip stitch into our chain 1. So it's not that stitch there, it's actually that hidden away a little bit there. So again, just making sure we catch the 2 pieces of yarn as part of the stitch and leaving a little bit of yarn underneath to make sure we're actually going through something. Ooh. And then just slip stitch like so, and you should have 24 stitches. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. Yay! And what we're going to do now is we're going to chain 1 again, and we're going to just work 1 single crochet into each stitch around and then slip stitch into our chain 1 again, and so you'll still have 24 stitches. Sorry about the truck going past. 24 stitches by the end of that round as well. So we'll just go straight into the next stitch and just do 1 single crochet in each stitch around. 1, 2. Okay, so just coming up to the last stitch. So that's technically the 23rd stitch, but our chain 1 makes our 24th. So we're just going to slip stitch into our chain 1 again to join the round. She says. There we go. Like so. And as you can see, you're starting to get the little pot shape appear, like so. And all we're going to do now is we're going to work a another increase round. So we're going to do chain 1, and in the next stitch we're just going to work 1 single crochet by itself, and then we're going to work 2 single crochet into the next stitch. So it's 1 and 2, and then we're going to work 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. So I'm just going to have 1 single crochet by itself in the next stitch, and then 1 single crochet by itself in the following stitch, and then we're going to do another increase of 2 single crochet. We're just going to repeat that around to the end, ending on an increase, just doing 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, until you get to the end, and then you should have 32 stitches by the end of that round. So 1 single crochet. Okay, so just doing the last stitch, which is an increase of 2 single crochet. And then we just need to slip stitch into our chain 1 again. Like so. Okay, so you should have 32 stitches by the end of that round. Okay, so what we want to do now is we just want to go straight into the next stitch and just do a slip stitch. We're actually going to fasten off now, like so, and then just pull your yarn up like so, and you can obviously sew in your tail ends as well, but I don't bother sewing the one on the inside because that will just end up on the inside. And we're going to work on the actual bun part now. Okay, so what I've done is I've actually just tidied up my tail end there, and I've just sewn it further down into the actual bun casing, and so yes, we can just hide that on the inside and use it as a bit of stuffing. So I'm just going to put that to one side, and we're actually going to work on the bun part now, but we actually start with the cherries. So we want to take our red piece of yarn, and this is actually the most fiddliest bit, but it's worth it in the end. So get your cherry coloured yarn, and we're going to work 8 single crochet into a magic circle again, using the same 3mm crochet hook. So just work 8 single crochet. Okay, so what you want to do now is just pull your tail end tight, like so, and because you're using a thinner yarn, it's going to be smaller than the beginnings of this. So, and then you just want to slip stitch into your first stitch to join the round. Okay, so I've just slip stitched in the first stitch to join the round, and we're just going to work 1 single crochet into each stitch around that. So just going to go straight into the next stitch, so there's no chaining. Just go straight into the next stitch. And just work 1 single crochet in each stitch around, so you still have 8 stitches. Okay, so by the end of that round you should still have 8 stitches. 2, 4, 6, 8. And we're just going to do another round of 1 single crochet into each stitch round, so we still have 8 by the end of our third round as well. So we just go straight into the next stitch. Okay, just doing the last stitch. And by the end of the third round you should still have 8 stitches. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're actually going to join our pink, lighter pink yarn, or our bun colour, so whatever colour you're going to be using for your cake colour. And what we're actually going to do first is we're just going to slip stitch into the next stitch. Like so. And what we're going to do to join our pink yarn, so we're going to chain 1, but what we're going to do first is, it's going to take, instead of taking the red colour to chain 1, I'm going to take our new colour and just put that over your hook and just pull that through to complete our chain 1. And then what we're going to do is we're going to work 2 single crochet into each stitch around, but we're only going to be doing it in the back loops, and this is the most fiddliest part. So with our new colour, and there's our next stitch, we're just going to go, it's very fiddly, but we're just going to do, just going for the back because that's the whole stitch there. Normally you would go through there, but we're just going to go through the back loop. This is a good idea to keep your stitches quite loose on the cherry part. So then do yarn over and just complete your first single crochet. Just pull your tail ends, tighten that down. And I'm going to do another single crochet in the same back loop. So you've got 2 single crochet, like so. And just repeat that round, doing 2 single crochet into each back loop, like so. There's a reason for this. Like so. And just repeat that round until you have 16 stitches. And then we'll come back. Okay, so I'm just finishing the last single crochet, the last 2 as it were. And you should have 16 stitches, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're just going to go straight into the next stitch, and it's going to be this pink one here that you want to go straight into. Like so. So there's no joining or chaining or anything like that. We're just going to go straight into this pink stitch. And we're going to do that with 1 single crochet. Like so. And then we're going to do an increase of 2 single crochet in the next stitch. So that's 1 and 2. And we're just working normally in the stitches now as well. And then we're going to do 1 single crochet in the next stitch by itself. And then we're going to do 2 single crochet increase in the next stitch. And we're just going to repeat that round, doing 1 single crochet, then 2 single crochet, until you have 24 stitches. Okay, so I'm just doing the last 2 single crochet. You always end on an increase. So let's just check we have 24 stitches. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're just going to work 1 single crochet into each stitch around. So there's no joining or chaining again, we're just working in the round. So go straight into the next stitch with 1 single crochet. We're just going to work 1 single crochet into each stitch around, so you still have 24 by the end of that round. Okay, just do the last stitch, 24. And and your project should be starting to look a little bit like this. Just put our tail ends on the red down a bit. And we're now going to work 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches, and then an increase of 2 single crochet. So let's go straight into the next stitch with 1 single crochet, and then 1 single crochet by itself in the next stitch, and then we're going to do our increase of 2 single crochet. And we're just going to repeat that round, doing 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, then 2 single crochet, 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, until you get 32 stitches by the end of this round. Okay, so that's 30, and then the last 2 increase, 31 and 32. Okay, it should look something like that. And then we're just going to work 1 single crochet into each stitch around. So we're just going to go straight into the next stitch of 1 single crochet until we still have 32 stitches at the end. 2. Okay, then 31 and 32. Okay, and then that's our pink part finished. So we're just going to slip stitch into the next stitch regardless of the round, like so. And we're actually going to be using this tail yarn on the light pink to sew onto our bun. So you want to leave a little bit of length for sewing, like so. But the red we can cut off as well. Let's move the red out of the way if we end up in a tangle mess. Okay, so I'm just going to pull like that. Like so. Okay, so what we're actually going to do now is we're going to sew this onto our little base. So get our yarn needle, and this is actually sewn on a little bit differently to how you probably imagine, because we want to make the cake look like it's actually sat within its little base. So the first thing I do is I actually want to bring this down, so I go in between the next stitch there. I just go in between the little stitch pieces like so, just to level that off. Okay, and what we want to do is we want to match up our knobbly bits. I really love my sayings. So we have all the seamy bits at the back. It's my lovely technical terms. But what we're actually going to do is, there's our normal stitch, as you can see there, and we want to, on the inside you should have these little loops here, and I'm actually going to just put my needle through that. It's not going through to the other side, it's just going through the middle like so, and I'm going to pull that through like so, and then rethread my needle like so. And then what we're going to do is we're actually going to sew through our next stitch. Just work out what stitch we're working in. This one here. So the next stitch, we're just going to go through the stitch as normal. So we want to go from the back to the other side. So that's just through the stitch as normal. And bring that through. And then the next one will start next to our pink yarn there, so we're just going to sew through that again, obviously making sure not to go through to the other side like so, and then we just go through the next stitch on our pink cake part as normal like so. We're just going to repeat that round, just going in the back of the casing and then into the cake part, and just repeat that round until you end up with a little space left, because obviously we need to leave a little space to add some stuffing. So I'm just going to carry this around until I end up with a little gap left, and I'll come back. Okay, so almost coming to the end. You want the hole to be massive. You don't want it to be too small that it's really difficult to stuff your cake. So I'll probably stop there. And what we can do is stuff in all our tail ends. And we want to stuff it fairly firmly, but we don't want to like really stuff it that it distorts the shape. So what I always recommend doing with toy stuffing is taking small bits at a time, ripping it apart to work out any lumps, and just putting it a little bit in a time. You don't need to worry about stuffing the cherry part. So I'm just going to do that and then come back. Okay, so I'll just stuff that a little bit more, and you just work out the shape, push out the shape of the bun, just push out the shape of the cake bottom, and when you're happy, probably just put a tiny little bit more in. And when you're happy, just sew up the gap the same way as you were before. And obviously as you get to the end it gets a little bit fiddly, but just do your best. I'll probably just put one more stitch in there. Like so. Okay, and then what we need to do is hide this tail end on the inside. Okay, so when you want to tie your tail ends on the inside, when you've got, you know, a project like this that you're working on, in this case a little cupcake that we're working on, is you just sew in and then come out anywhere. Just come out anywhere on the project you're working on. Don't pull too tightly when you do that, because it can sometimes distort the object you're making. And then just go back in next to where the yarn came out, roughly, and just come out again anywhere on your project. Again, not making sure not to pull too tightly, like so. And do the same again. Just come out anywhere on your project. I always try and come out for a stitch. Again, making sure not to pull too tightly. And any little holes soon disappear. Like so. I'm just going to go through one more time. So go in next to where your yarns come out. I'm just going to come out over the other side here. Making sure to keep the shape. Like so. And then what you do is you push your project down, so squeeze it down, and then just hold the yarn with your two fingers there. Don't pull it too tight, and then just cut your yarn like that. And then when your project springs up, you'll see that piece of yarn just pop inside your project. And that's a brilliant way of hiding your tail ends on the inside of your project. Okay, so what we're going to do now for our little cupcake is, you may notice we need to do the icing part, and we're actually going to join. We're going to get our white yarns. This is our DK light worsted weight yarn. So what you want to do is we're going to join our white yarn on the front loops that we left earlier on our cherry, because as you remember we only worked in the back loops of the red part. So we're just going to put our hook into one of those front loops. It's going to be a little bit fiddly, like so. And we're just going to bring our yarn through, and we're going to secure that with a single crochet, like so. And in that same stitch we're going to work another single crochet, and we're going to work another single crochet in the same stitch. So that's technically 2 proper single crochet stitches, because the first single crochet we did to secure that into place is very, very, very difficult to see, so we're going to ignore it and just count that as 2 single crochets. And then in the next stitch we're just going to work 1 single crochet by itself, like so. And then in the next stitch we're going to do 2 single crochet again. For an increase. Like so. And then in the next stitch we're just going to do 1 single crochet by itself. And then we're going to do 2 single crochet for an increase in the next stitch. It's quite the fiddliest part Just working around the cherry bit. And then we're going to do one single crochet by itself. Big tractor going past. Got a lot of tractors going past at the moment. I think they're cutting the straw or hay. Okay, so work 2 single crochet in the next stitch. For an increase. And then 1 single crochet in the next stitch, like so. And by the end of that round you should have 12 stitches all in all, and we're just going to slip stitch into that first, not the very first because we can't see it, but in the first proper single crochet that we made. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 and 12. I'm going to have to do this off camera because it's quite fiddly with the camera in front. Or maybe I can do it. Can I do it? Yay. Okay. Like so, and just slip stitch. Okay, you should have 12 stitches in total from that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go straight into the next stitch, but we're going to work a single crochet and a double crochet. So we'll go straight into the next stitch. Do a single crochet, but we're also going to do a double crochet in the same stitch. Like so. And then in the next stitch we're going to work 2 treble crochets, so that's yarn over twice. We go into the next stitch, which is there. Careful not to crochet our tail yarn. And it's going to work our first treble crochet, and then we're going to do another treble crochet in the same stitch. Like so. And in the next stitch we're going to do a treble crochet, and we're going to do a double crochet in the same stitch. Like so. And then we're going to do a double crochet in the next stitch, like so, and you want to do another double crochet in the same stitch. That's 2 double crochet. Then you're going to work a double crochet in the next stitch, and a single crochet in the same stitch, like so. You don't have to follow these stitches exactly, you can make up your own swirly pattern for the icing. There's no rules. And then the next stitch we're going to do a double crochet, or actually a single crochet, sorry, in the next stitch. Beg your pardon. So that's a single crochet in the next stitch, and then a double crochet in the same stitch. going to work a single crochet in the next stitch. Just by itself, and then we're going to do 1 double crochet in the next stitch by itself, and then we're going to work a 2 treble crochet in the next stitch. So that's 1 and then 2. Like so. Then we're going to work a double crochet in the next stitch. And then we're going to work a single crochet in the next stitch. Like so, and then we're done. So what we're then just going to do is we're going to slip stitch into the next stitch, like so, and then cut your yarn and pull up, like so. That's our little bit of icing. You can play around with all these stitches, and it doesn't matter how many you do in each stitch. I mean, obviously the more stitches you do, the curlier it becomes. It's always good to balance it out with a few stitches by themselves. But yeah, you can really play with the icing. But what I'm going to do now is we get our yarn needle, and we're going to tie in our tail ends. But what we're going to do with our tail ends is we're actually going to, so starting with this one, first of all we're just going to feed it into that next stitch, just to neaten that off. And then I'm going to come up, just going to go straight underneath this flap of icing, fairly near the edge, like so. And I'm just going to sew over it a little bit and then come through the base of the cake, like so. And what this actually does is this actually sews the icing down onto the cake. Now I'm going to come back up, and I'm going to come back over this side, coming underneath this piece of icing near the edge, making sure not to pull too tightly. And then I'm just going to sew over a little bit to the other side and just come down somewhere on the bottom of the cake, like so. I'm just going to repeat that around a little bit with the other tail end as well, just making sure to secure the icing down. So I'm just going to do it here as well. So just sew that side down, like so. So I'm just going to swap for the other one because I'm running out of yarn. So what have we got left? We've got this piece here, so I'm just going to come straight up behind this flap of icing, and I'm just going to go over slightly, come down underneath, like so. And there we go, and we've secured our icing into place. So I'm just going to hide these tail ends like we did before, by just going in next to it and then just coming out the other side. It just secures it into place. Like so. Then we're going to squish our cake down. Make that pop back inside. And this one's been around already a bit, so I'm just going to push that down put that pot back inside, and then we're done. The little cake's finished. So there we go, a little cupcake. And now I've got two. So yeah, you can really play around with the colours as well. You could use dark brown for the cake part to make it a chocolate cake, and you don't have to add icing. You could, or even the cherry, you could actually just have create a little strawberry and put it on the top, or you could have little bits of alternate coloured yarns, perhaps multicoloured, and sew them in and out, and that'll look like little sprinkles, hundreds and thousands on top. And yeah, so I really hope you enjoyed my little cake tutorial, little cupcake tutorial. And yeah, join me next time for I'm going to show you how to make a little Swiss roll. That's one of those little spiral cakes. And yeah, and if you'd like to subscribe, I do lots of other free crochet tutorials on my channel, so check it out. Or you can join me on Facebook at www.facebook.com/HappyBerryCrochet. Or you could visit my website at www.happyberry.co.uk. But all my patterns are in US terminology unless otherwise stated. And of course you're free to sell anything you make from my patterns if you wish to. So hopefully I'll see you around on my channel somewhere, and join me again for some more crochet fun. Okay, thanks, bye!